Hello, I'm David Lambert, and I am talking today about surge protection. It's a very, very important subject because surges are the invisible thief in your facility or your home. This seminar will cover copper connections that come into your home or facility, the anatomy of a surge, what is it, and the effects, what do you see? Because surges themselves are invisible and not seen, but the effects are. Surge protection devices. We'll go over the type 1, 2, and 3 surge protection devices, and we can do a return on investment exercise at the end. The copper connections to your facility or your home are power lines, data lines, telephone lines, and coax TV lines. Okay, this slide shows you how power gets to your facility, the power lines into your facility or your home, coming from the power generation plant where they burn coal or gas to make steam, to turn generators, to generate the electricity, which is very high voltage when it leaves the plant, and it is stepped down through transformers by the time it gets to your facility, where you hear typically about the 120 volt or 240 volt. And in larger facilities, commercial installations, 480 volt, three-phase. Okay, so what is a surge? It's a short burst of electrical impulse or rise in voltage, and it's beyond the safe level of the electrical equipment. Here's an illustration of that AC sine wave with a power surge. Here's the nice AC sine wave that's clean, 1/60th of a second, and this happens 60 times per second, therefore 60 hertz. So you've often heard 120 volts, 60 hertz, and a power surge is a fraction of 1/60th of a second. So you can see it's a very quick event. Here are the effects of surge that you will see. Surge is a invisible thief within the electronic equipment, but there are three basic effects that you'll see: disruptive, dissipative, and destructive. The disruptive are, you'll see electronic components try to process the transient or the surge as a valid logic command, and that'll result in system lockup or malfunction or lost or corrupted data files. You'll see dissipative effects, repeated stresses on integrated circuit components. So we call those blue sky failures. It's a nice day, there's nothing wrong, and all of a sudden a piece of equipment or a computer or a hard drive or something fails for no reason. And that's because over time, switching transients peck away at the integrated circuit, the traces within the integrated circuit, and eventually it fails. And then of course there's the destructive, which are the lightning strikes or your power failures or your brownouts, things like that, and you see instantaneous failure. So these are the symptoms to watch out for: computer lockups, data corruption, equipment shutdown, flickering lights, premature failure of electronic ballasts or PC boards. Those problems that are described above result in billions of dollars of lost profits to U.S. businesses every year. And that's from the NEMA Surge Protection Institute. Surge protection devices, what are they? Well, they protect a facility and its equipment, and it requires a comprehensive approach. First of all, you have to have good grounding. Without good grounding, a surge protection device is ineffective. So you must have good grounding to begin with. Then, as laid out in UL 1449, there are type 1, type 2, and type 3 surge protectors. Type 1 is at the service entrance on the line side or the line coming into a facility. Type 2 is at the load side of a circuit breaker panel, and type 3 are at your individual workstations or entertainment centers or point of sale or point of use areas. This is new to the NFPA, National Electrical Code, NFPA 70. In the 2020 edition, they just came out with Article 230, which requires surge protection devices in new installations in dwelling units. So homes and dwelling units, apartments, condominiums, etc. Must have whole facility or whole house surge protectors. This has become a safety issue over the years because smoke detectors, ground fault circuit interrupters primarily, are affected by surge, and surges will deteriorate those devices, and because they're life-saving devices, we are going to, the National Electrical Code has put this in to protect not only the whole house, but those life-saving devices, the ground fault circuit interrupters, the smoke alarms, CO detectors, etc. So any new installations or upgrades to existing installations will require whole house surge protectors. And this is a testament to the importance of surge protection. Here's an illustration of your incoming, a type 1 surge protector at the line side of the incoming service. Then you have your circuit breaker panel in your dwelling, and on the load side you have a type 2 surge protector, and then of course a surge protector that you plug all your entertainment or computer workstation or point of sale terminals into. All these are fed by copper, and surges will have an effect over time if you don't have a type 3, a type 2, or a type 1. Now many customers will focus on a type 2 or a type 3. It's important to have both. This type 2 will protect the unit from anything coming into the facility. The type 3 will protect your sensitive electronics and your important expensive electronics from switching transients and things that go on inside. So in a home, you think about a typical day. Your refrigerator motor is turning on and off. Your washer and dryer may be turning on and off. Your stove, your oven, your furnace, your air conditioner. Those all have motors that turn on and off and cause switching transients throughout the system. And surge protectors dump all that excess energy or those short bursts of voltage above the safe level. It dumps it to ground. So that's why ground is such an important aspect of surge protection, and then having proper comprehensive surge protection in your facility and at each point of sale or point of use station. Here is a typical installation of a type 2 surge protector. You have your incoming power from the utility to your main breaker. Then at your first position, you put in two 20 amp circuit breakers to tie in the surge protector, the type 2 surge protector. You have two lines, a neutral and a ground connection with that surge protector, and it sits there and takes thousands of hits and shaves off any of the surges that we talked about earlier to a safe level and dumps them to ground. And that's why the ground connection is very important, and proper grounding. Now this prevents anything from outside coming in, and then with your type 3 surge protector, which is basically a power strip looking device, but there are many variations, so you have to be careful of which one you select for the use that you have. So if it's a computer workstation, you want a robust, anything that's expensive, you want robust surge protectors protecting those devices. And then we can do a return on investment. So you take the cost of all your equipment in the facility, especially anything with sensitive electronics, cost of downtime, how much does it cost if you were to lose that piece of equipment, and then the cost to replace it. Not only the raw cost, the actual cost to buy the equipment, but the cost to wait for it, and then the cost of getting or procuring that piece of equipment. When we do deal with industrial facilities, there's a rule of thumb. We want to make sure that we protect anything that's susceptible and anything that's hard to replace or expensive to replace. So that's the, and then when you add up the cost of the surge protector, it's almost always going to far outweigh the cost of, or let me redo this.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. When we do a return on investment, the cost of surge protection is very minimal compared to the cost of replacing or repairing equipment should it go, and the cost of downtime that you experience. During this presentation, I brought a surge protector, and we are plugged into a power strip here for the equipment that we have temporarily for this presentation. And this is strictly a power strip. It's really an extension of the plug in your wall. There's no surge protection in this device. It's just like plugging your device in the wall. This would plug into the wall, and it does have surge protection, and it has a ground lug. Again, grounding is super important. Surge protectors don't work without proper grounding. So you can't have a surge protector and just a 2-prong plug. You have to have a 3-prong plug. Very important. Also, these surge protectors vary in the amount of protection that they have. They also have indication. Surge protectors in this form come in all sizes and shapes. We can get one with just 2 outlets that plug in the wall. We can get a unit like this with several outlets. It also has the facility to put different modules if you have Ethernet connections, cable connections, telephone connections, etc. You can also surge protect those. So this is just one example. There are many, many different examples. What I like to do is an assessment to figure out what the best comprehensive plan is, put together a proposal, and then we can discuss those details. In the presentation, we talked about a Type 2 surge protector, and this is a typical Type 2 surge protector. It is very robust with lots of metal oxide varistors and components in here to shave off any surges that come into a facility and dump it to ground. Here's a ground wire, here's a neutral wire that's in your breaker panel, and then the 2 hot wires that go to 20 amp circuit breakers on your main circuit breaker panel. So this one also has some remote monitoring capabilities, which also is very important. So after thousands and thousands of hits, and I think most of these come with 10-year warranties, after thousands and thousands of hits, they keep on protecting. Once they do fail, they can give a signal or they have an LED indication to show that they have failed and it's time to replace them.